Hello, gamers. Hello, noobs. Today I'm with the loved and respected, my friend and admirable tournament organizer. He has played in specials and won. He was coach in duos and lost. He reached plat in moments' notice when everyone else was 1500. Let's welcome Starkrush.
Thanks, Pat. Good to be here.
Oh, the duo thing, like you lost was of course because of the coach.
Yeah, of course. Tom very much gets the blame for that. Although, again, it is his birthday, so we can just delay releasing this until his birthday's
Yeah.
over, so I can have the mean comments in unfiltered.
Well, I kind of I said coach instead of the name
Yeah.
for that reason.
Well, everyone can see the records.
So
We
this
have
is
the
a
classic,
duo game. Yep.
yeah, just a classic off pick. The neighbors on 1-1 pick. Very very uninteresting start. Probably something he does a fair bit by himself without coach, but yeah.
Oh, this 1.2 on the other hand is kind of resting Bezo. Something you don't see often. Especially because it kind of like assumes that both hammers are at rest.
Yeah, I think I also used to do this kind of pick a lot where you're just kind of afraid to off pick a hammer. So
Mm-hmm.
even though 1.1 happens, you just kind of, off pick non hammers,
Oh.
hope to get on and hope for the best. And I think that's probably the extent of it. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make sense if they are afraid to off pick two hammers. Because in this situation, you probably off pick one of the hammers.
Yeah.
You
Obviously, you can
have
also
to
just on pick
on
as
pick,
well,
yeah,
but
on picking,
that's the most natural. But this is fine too.
on pick away, and let's go.
Yeah, I agree. Always on pick Gawain if he's in your games this tournament.
Yeah, it's because he's from your team.
No, it's just because he's a great person and player, and you should always miss him. Clearly.
Hmm. Take notes. Take notes, everyone. So,
That's not an intentional app, surely, from Fahrenheit. Not claiming
hmm.
misclick though.
So because 1.2 is an off up, like usually strange plays invite more strange plays into the game.
Well, but Bezos off happy. I think he always does. He off saps for his own M2
Ah,
hammer. But
right.
Fahrenheit, I've never seen him do anything like that
Mm-hmm.
before, and this also obviously doesn't give him hammer. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely strange. And also, yeah, no misclick claim. There we go. Took about 45 seconds for him to realize.
Yeah, I just realized that Bezo is playing the Tom meta, so he
Yeah.
will always off up M1 if it gives him into hammer.
Yep.
Okay, let's find a good 1.5. It's
I'm
probably
surprised.
Bezo.
I'm surprised by this 1.4. Like, I don't know. If I'm Gawain, I'm annoyed at all of these fairly irrelevant picks, especially 1-1-1-2, and to not off pick either of them and just say, like, no to 1.6 being picked.
Hmm.
I'm a bit surprised by personally, but
Yeah, that's a good point. That 1.1, 1.2, they are kind of whatever. There's no strong picks this game. Perhaps even 1.4 is the strongest. Or I guess
I mean, 1.3 is
1.3. Yeah,
obviously not
1.3.
nothing either, but 1.4 definitely feels the strongest. And yeah, Resni Bezo for no real reason.
Yeah, 1.5 after 1.4. I would unpick Bezo just like Killer did.
Yeah, I mean, you're hammer blocked from everyone else, so it's kind of the only pick you have.
You could pick Panda.
I mean, still 1.3, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Feels like it's the
so
only pick.
so you assume it it's like Panda off-picked you with Ragdoll, so it's like also saying that Panda and Killer are one rest from Spy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're killer in that position, there's a spy and panda ragdoll, assuming that everyone's correct, basically, is the way I
Oh,
kind of loosely think about it.
so
It's like a 50-50 there and a 50-50 between Gawain and Fahrenheit,
hmm,
and that makes mostly res.
so I think there's also the second thought of school of thinking about off-picks is that you completely ignore the picker and you just
Mm,
take the information. So because Panda says her pick said Killer and Ragdoll is one rest from Spy. I'm Res, I'm
yeah,
Killer. It just means that Ragdoll's a spy.
yeah. I mean, I guess the way I think about it is, yeah, if there are rares picking it and it's correct, then there's a spy between the three of them, and if there are spy picking it and it's two rares, then it's also a correct M1, and there's still a spy in the three of them. It is kind of how I go about it. but I'm not sure it makes a massive difference on where you end up picking.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like there is some difference because, for example, I would pick Pandemania. Well, I could pick Pandemania there.
Mm,
And to your POV, it would be like, sus. And to my POV,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, this is the second. I just didn't want to pick Bezo because of, I don't know.
I guess on
But
the sort of other interpretation, the one you have, like if you are sort of just a spy who wants to block res from being picked, like, and you just ignore the picker, then in my mind, I think it lets spies just hammer block you from res, but they haven't hammer blocked themselves in the process, you know?
hmm, it's it's like because this assumes that you can't say anything about yourself. Because I don't take picker into equation at all.
Mm,
So only other people could make me pick them.
yeah, interesting. Do you know what the consensus is among different people?
Yeah, that there's no consensus really.
Okay,
This is the
fair enough.
consensus.
Who should be accusing M1+1 here?
Hmm.
Fahrenheit, yeah, obviously. Don't think any of the others will. So it's probably still going to end up being M1+1, but
Yeah, I don't think anyone else could accuse. Everyone else is a validat.
so we have 2 to 3 minutes to go until that ends up getting picked. And then I think when that fails, I think, Fahrenheit can quite reasonably be annoyed at 1.4, or, there's definitely a spy in the hammers at least to see something like that happen on 1.4.
I feel like if 2.5 Mr. Fahrenheit's POV is like very likely accusing him once.
Yeah.
There's one. No, I was thinking about Square, but Square was killable 1.3. So good him once with Mr. Fahrenheit and M2 failing. Anti-Panda and Killer.
That's 1.1 doesn't work.
Oh, right. So there's probably literally zero.
I feel like there's one I'm missing. Let's see. Killer Ragdoll?
1.3.
Yeah, again, then there's a debate around, is it a valid off pick if it includes two spies or just has to be one res one spy, which I'm more on the two spies school of thought, but I know that's probably a bit more contentious even than the other opinion I had.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, those are like very shaky picks. Reads.
Yeah.
Someone sing a song. I always think about the purpose. Because this is pretty much saying guys talk,
Yeah, it's kind of
right?
like we're walking towards an M1+1 that's going to be dirty, and I'm bored. Like, entertain me while you guys
Mm.
get over it.
Or maybe it's a spy who knows and two is gonna be clean and I want anything.
Yeah, I mean that can also be it. We'll see how much begging he does on Hammer. See if he does an arm throw.
Does an arm turn. Powerful.
I'm still traumatized from the special I played.
That was arm? Wasn't it Pingu?
Yeah, I was arm begging on Maxi's hammer. Well, not
Yeah,
really. It was
Maxi's
Maxi.
hammer.
Maxi initiated it, to be fair, but
It was
yeah,
arm?
arm was the one who got added and said like, don't pick orange and stuff on my
Oh
1.5.
shit. Yeah, I remember he picked right hand side on 2.5 instead of you and the person you unpicked on 1.5
Yeah.
when
Oh, we
he.
have another accuse. Interesting.
Oh, this would be a PR accuse, I think. Because she's picking Mr. Fahrenheit with Bezo, which is essentially 1.1 and 1.2.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is the strongest pick so far. I feel like it might be Zigzag, Anti-Panda, and Mr. Fahrenheit.
Yeah, just anti the accusers. Very possible.
Not even because it's just anti the accusers, because 2.1 is very logical, but 2.4 is so super strong.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it could also be Pandemania and Ragdoll, because this accuses Loki forcing Ragdoll on 2.5. If
Yeah.
and just a monster bat. Like it's right hand side must be. and Mr. Fahrenheit accuses because it's logical to him, and 2.4 is making Panda on. So just a
Yeah.
possibility.
Well,
That's
we'll see. I don't think I love it, but let's see what the color is before I get egg on my face.
yeah, that would be
Yeah.
just powerful. Like if it was right hand side and Bezo and 2.4 was picked, it's such so good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thankfully M2 isn't cleaned. I
Yeah.
like that
One of the
a lot.
accusers is Wes.
I
Oh,
like
yeah,
that a
I
lot.
definitely don't like Gawain in this position for, he's not an ad to M1. He's now on a dirty M2. I still really dislike 1.4. He's already said someone messed up. Like it's the start of M3, and he's the one who's been picking everything relevant. I don't know. I don't think he's Wes.
Yeah, currently, like I don't think it's on M3.
Yeah.
Time to start. I dislike this chat a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's PR at least. Like if it's VT, isn't he thinking here?
Yeah, and also, he can very easily be the one who messed up, but he can pretend for a little bit longer, like, maybe someone else did, and then look PR on it. Whereas this is, yeah, it's a needless PR claim, so probably should just be spied, in my view.
So Gawain POV is, I guess he picked 1.4. So his 2.5 is just saying Pandemania is a spy, and my point 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's just saying
And
M1 isn't clean.
he didn't say one of the two things that he should have said. And one of them is M1s are bad, and the other is Pandemania is res.
Yeah,
One
I don't
of
know
them are
what
correct to his POV.
I think. I don't know what. Yeah, other people do different things. I don't tend to, do too much rezzing and stuff like that, and especially early M3. You can just sort of see how picks go and get a stronger read from there, and like approve and reject accordingly. I tend to think that it's more spyish and resish to sort of do too much, but obviously does
Mm-hmm.
depend on the players.
What you said is completely true, and I also agree with that. It's just that Gawain Start decided to say something, but he didn't
Yeah.
say the correct things.
Oh,
And,
we have a failed M3.
well, I was thinking that 3.2 is probably the most logically clean.
Yeah. I guess I guess the issue with it would have been 2.4 in hindsight, just accusing accusing a clean M1 for Panda for no reason.
Oh, so there's another thing
Yeah, okay. If you
that
still pick
comes.
awareness, it's an accuse, yeah.
Yeah, because when you accuse, it doesn't always mean that you accuse 1.5. You can also
Yeah,
accuse M1 plus 1. So
yeah,
her accuse could be like, oh, I don't want to see anti Mr. Fahrenheit Ragdoll because
yeah,
it's M1 plus 1 with me.
yeah,
I prefer this like approach because it's
yeah,
like it doesn't say as much because if you just accuse 1.5 then you accuse two people and it's like a very powerful information, and if you
yeah,
accuse them 1 plus 1 you just kill one of the 10 teams.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who do we think looks res or spy off of this?
well, Gawain is looking more res
Yeah.
after those and freeze for sure, like 3.2. Well, what is his role really?
What even is 3.1 pick reject like? It's not
Oh,
that bad a team, is it?
yeah, this is where I think we should start thinking or solving from the 3.1 reg.
Like, yeah, 3.1 looks so viable.
So his POV has did 1.5. So 1.5 is a VT pick, a very logical pick. But
Yeah,
3.1 doesn't seem like a normal
yeah,
logical VT pick.
yeah,
He picked Regis, a team that has 1.3 and 1.2. Just like bad
yeah.
M1's team. So if when people pick Reg teams that have bad M1s, they're like saying, I want to see I think M1s are good. Right? Like killing team with bad M1s, it's like reinforcing teams that are left with good M1s.
I feel like it's more, you're picking a team that looks like is a central pick on 3.1, which I think, most teams look like they have bad M1s to me. And you're just kind of saying, well, I don't really think I'm going to be able to pick clean right now. I'm just going to, move and let other people do some picks and signal that I don't really like the options that look pickable right now. Um,
But you
In any
might
case,
actually be correct that his POV might not have any good M1's pick without Gawain.
yeah. I'm surprised at how little has happened so far this crit. Like, surely at this point,
No, no,
people on
there's
M1
one.
should spy each other.
There's one Starkrush.
Yeah,
Exactly 3.2 has good M1s. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, and Killer could have picked it.
and decided not to.
Okay, let's see the chat. Maybe something happened.
No one's res or spied anyone. Ragdoll sounds weird, saying like she'd like to fall asleep, just waiting for anyone to do anything.
Must
I
be.
mean, I do think people on M1 should spy each other. Like, they really just shouldn't have many teams after, again, it's 3.1 is not 3.2, 3.2 is failing. They've not tried any other teams. Like, yeah, it doesn't feel like they're very often res together at all to me.
Hmm. So if I would be VT here, because it really depends on your role and Basil's role. I think if you're like Percival and Killer is like Merlin question mark, I wouldn't spy him yet.
No, for sure. Like, yeah, I do think a 3.1 pick reject as a Merlin question mark probably is more likely Merlin than Morgana. It's just saying team is messed up. I
Mm,
cannot pick clean.
yeah.
Please help me, Percival.
No, it's
Obviously, again, that can
what
be a
it
strategy for
really
Morg.
says is like I don't want to pick viable because it will just fuck us up because it will
Yeah,
fail and put us in crit.
yeah, yep.
So guess we can must be stimulate some activity. Okay, let's the Basil was on two fails. But like it 3.2 is incredibly hard to reject.
Yeah, I thought 3.1 wasn't that easy to reject either, but obviously three people managed to, so
So the most spy looking player is Ragdoll,
you
surely.
think?
Yeah, she because she was on 2.5 fail and she did the solo up on 3.1.
Yeah.
She's not spy 100%. I just think she's currently the most spy
Yeah,
person looking.
I don't know. You also then see 3.2 without her. She's not the hammer who picked a dirty mission. Like, on pure mission logic, I feel like Gawain and Ragdoll both have, reasons to look more like a bit more res or spy than in the other one, and there's at least a res between them, if not two res. So I don't know. I think probably I'm most likely to spy Mosby at this point, but yeah, we'll see.
Hmm.
'Cause you know what? I don't know. Mosby's got on missions, just failed them at whatever, done nothing really of use. And he's on two fails. Everyone's pressuring him to do anything, and he's just said absolutely nothing so far. And it's been what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
Hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
here. So let's because people are not claiming info, I think we have to start like doing some hard solving. I think
Oh,
it's not right hand side in Pandemania because of
yeah.
1.4.
Well, we have a res now from Mosby and a spying of Gawain. That's a weird spying of Gawain. Um,
I would
yeah,
rest
very weird.
Ragdoll and Spy Gawain.
Like,
Okay,
I
I think
I don't
that
know where that
Ragdoll
comes
is
from.
rest then. I
Yep.
think Ragdoll will be just rest here.
Yeah, if those two spies in again like 1.4, which was always very strong, is just totally needless. So yeah,
Hmm.
yep, Ragdoll's indeed res, and probably looking VT to A get res and B solo app on 3.1.
No, I also don't think that Bezo and Gawain are just spies because of 3.1 completely hated.
Yep,
So that will mean one spy, of course, and Panamania, Fahrenheit, and Killer will have just one left then.
I think it makes sense. Yeah,
That's a good game because this one is actually non-obvious.
Mosby's also rejected 4.1, so he's resing Mr. Fahrenheit as well. He hasn't said it in chat, but that's what that achieves. Although he might be just punting.
2.1. Well, yeah, 2.2.
4.1.
Oh, 4.1.
Like, if he's spying away and inverting ragdoll, like,
Mm.
and 4.1 is a pick reject.
That's a strange pick, right? Because it doesn't involve Ragdoll. I mean, pick
Yeah.
upping. Like, pick upping in right now, if he's VT or anything, I think is too risky. But 4.1 not having Ragdoll on.
I don't know, if you have a res that you're pretty confident on, and you're on two fails, I feel like it's your job to pick up something, especially, yeah, when you're the only one on two fails, like, it's kind of on your job to do something. He's saying 1.1 might be wrong, so he's starting to res Fahrenheit, which is already what he did with his pick. Panda spying Gawain is bizarre, who's on zero missions with Gawain at all.
Well,
How, that's very suspicious.
it's probably left hand side and Mr. Fahrenheit with Panda Merlin.
Do you think double spy hammer?
Could
That would be
be.
very unfortunate. I would explain the 3.1 pick reject, but for 3.2 to get full outs is absolutely tragic. And that'd also kind of mean the what Ragdoll is probably Merlin, not.
No, I think
Um,
Pandamania would be like PRs would beat Bazo in Pandamania.
but do you think Merlin apps to give double spy hammer on 3.2? Like, I don't think it's a team that has to be out without outing PR.
Yeah, I think Merlin is upping 3.2. Rejecting 3.2 would be crazy.
I think you can reject it for it being not picked on 3.1 would be my, claimable
Yes,
like
yes,
non-Merlin reason.
usually yes, but it was solo out by Ragdoll.
Yeah,
And
that's
Gavin is
true.
2.5. So like rejecting this is gonna be huge, huge claim.
Yeah.
So and
Ragdoll's
this
res Miss Ref, so we have another res.
it looks like left hand side Mr. Fahrenheit.
That'd be so tragic, man. I mean, good for my team probably, but just yeah, very unfortunate with how the games went.
Problem is like Killer just said okay Rag confess, then he said M1 are 100% wrong with how the game is going. But the thing is, like he should have claimed all of this stuff 10 minutes ago. Literally 10 minutes ago.
Well, I'm in the lazy school of thinking where you sit on your ass until you're kind of forced to do something and let everyone else claim info right or wrong, especially as Hammer on M4. I think he's in a position to do that personally.
But like what he said has been like kind of claimed anyway.
Yeah,
So like everyone rests like the same situation. Everyone rests someone, and then 10 minutes later you rest that person as well. It's like
yeah,
it means nothing, bro. I get you. Like if you have something very good to claim, like,
yeah.
you don't have to insta claim it.
Fahrenheit says Gawain's team is right hand side. Um, Starting to talk to Panda. I think you might be right. At least that's Bezos team at the least.
I mean, 2.4 was a very powerful pick. And what spy teams do Panda have? Like, it's not Panda Mania and Ragdoll.
Panda
Well,
and
it
Mosby, I
could
think, is
be
the consensus, probably.
Panda and Mosby.
Although, yeah, I do think right hand side makes some sense. It's a bit of a tragic situation with 1.4 for no reason.
Yeah, right hand side. Hmm. Right hand side.
You don't like it, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see because I was like pretty sure Killer is a spy, and I liked 2.4, and I overall
Yeah,
liked how Pandemania chatted this game.
yeah.
But she
They are
rests.
talking to Panda a lot. Seems like she's aware.
But the problem is that she's gonna be Merlin. Like it's Basil to Pandemania probably, or like Ragdoll to Pandemania.
Yeah, Fahrenheit does seem to have.
It's like
a decent game.
Pandemania rest the whole team.
Yeah, yeah. The spying of Gwen out of nowhere was definitely very, very suspicious. I mean, I would imagine she's been coached as well, so I would be surprised if that didn't go via her coach. Um, and that makes you
Yeah, but
think
like,
it's not just an open Merlin, but
look at her chat. Like her first chat in freeze must be, "What are you thinking about?" Then she said, "I think I look the most stressed. I think Rack is stressed as well. I think Gavain could be spy. I like myself,
Yeah.
Mr. Fahrenheit." She literally, like, this is her chat. Like, she sent five or
Yeah.
six messages in which she arrests four people and spies one of them.
You're not
Uh,
wrong.
it's like, but what I'm trying to say is she could be Morgana for this more than Merlin,
Yeah.
because
She's getting res though.
yeah, she's probably not Merlin then.
Yeah.
Like this would be like pure on suiciding, and she would not be rest. So fuck, this is a difficult moment.
Yeah.
I need to see Killer's chat.
Been pretty non-existent for a while. As you said, it's just sort of repeating and fairly filler. Kind of been dominated by Ragdoll and Fahrenheit and Panda, and then Gwaine starting to sort of do more with the situation getting a bit precarious for him to be on M4.
Oh, hmm. I think that Panda and Killer. Well, it's gonna say nothing, but one rest, one spy.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that be
Panda
oh, because
seems
Mr.
either ways.
Fahrenheit confess and Rack is like, yeah, I got that from chat, but it's the
Yep.
obvious thing from logic as well. Hmm.
Could be anti-Mosby killer.
I'm
Again,
starting
then
to
Panda
like
would be spying
Killer.
Gawain for no reason.
I'm starting to like Killer from chat.
Mm. I don't know. It feels like what's his team like? Everyone's trying to debate whether we're apping now. Mosby wants 4.2. Gawain kind of wants 4.2 as well.
I was reading his earlier chat. Okay, let's see what's going on right now. I think we are upping on me, and I would like to repick. What's her role? Is she? I don't think she's Merlin. She would be Percival. She's not VT. She's.
Yeah.
Would you approve here? Like,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, everyone's basically saying it's a team. Everyone's been consistent on it. Like Gawain and Mosby are both saying they're gonna app it.
I feel like Killer could be Merlin.
That would be very unfortunate. He's not trying anywhere near hard enough in chat, I think, for it. Yeah, he's out.
Okay, bro, I got crazy. Holy smokes! I was like, what's going on?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Killer is indeed not the ad with 3.1.
He seems like he
That
seems
is
full.
not the not the pick to pick reject.
A ragdoll is Merlin. It's zigzag. Fuck.
It does feel like the vibes where they have Mosby as the ad to app at Mosby, and again, Panda did just spy Gawain for no reason. So it probably is left hand side, but Panda is definitely a PR on that.
No, I don't think she's Merlin.
Yeah,
I was like, the first team I saw was Lufthansa and Mr. Fahrenheit this game.
yeah.
So, Gavain, I need to see his chat. Okay, Assassin is Killer, Gavain is Morgana,
Yeah.
and it's Panda to who?
Mm. Panda to Mosby, very possible.
Panda to
3.1
Mosby,
reject.
yeah, 2.4. 2.4. I don't want two Merlins on.
Yep, that's very possible.
And then she just marks him because he picks two Merlins anyway.
Uh, probably not the best reason to morgue, but it might have been again a morguing from the Start of M3 chat read that we
Could
were
be,
talking
yeah.
about. Like again, totally needless as morgue. Also, Bezer did do a wrong 1.1, but he does randomize his picks, so even as Merlin, like he could very easily have done 1.1. So we'll see if that saves in this game if
He
he is
uses
Merlin.
his
But
special method.
yeah,
Yeah, by 1.1 is a big one here. So let's see the chat. I read some ultra facts. Oh, Panda and Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm gonna read what Panda is saying here. She hasn't said a word. She said, "I
I
want to
mean,
move to Rag."
she spied Gawain in M4.
Yeah,
Like
she
I'm
did.
sure people won't be forgetting that. And again, like they were talking about apping on 3.3, which again, if Gawain is the ad, like
And
there's no need
yeah,
to just not let that happen a bit, you know?
exactly like you mentioned. Panda has said, "I think Egwene is a spy too." This is what she said. And if she's Merlin, then I think this situation looks a little bit differently.
Yeah. 1.3 is also very Percy to Mosby.
So Ragdoll said yes. That the trust Ragdoll first. Yeah, it's true that Gawain killed right hand side. I mean, I would go with left hand side.
I definitely would as
Fuck it.
well. Like Mose was consistent early on talking about left hand side, like rather than just letting it move to hammer and seeing what happens. Gawain's talking about Mosby being Morgana, which I feel like it's much more often a spy move, being like, "Oh, I think this person's Merlin. Don't go with that Merlin. Go with me, Merlin."
I'm still waiting for Panda to say anything, but
I mean,
like,
she's presumably just hoping that like people remember and then start saying, "Oh yeah, we should add Mosby," and she's like, "Sure," to look like Merlin or
yeah.
something. But it's it's fairly clear anyway.
What if it's 3.1 with Ragdoll Merlin?
I mean, go next.
Yeah, we go next, but the silence here is a little strange. So 4.1 says you can give a team. I mean, by and once I knew and once are wrong with you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Well, this is pretty much saying if Gawain is a spy, I'm not Merlin.
Yeah.
It seems that Panda has a preference? What do you mean?
I
They had a preference going into five.
it's the classic like dancing for no real reason. Like you just get used to doing it and pretending that, oh, like this is
Yeah.
what this person seems to think, blah blah blah. It's just like
Yeah.
the spies can read. Like it doesn't really obscure that much unless you get really good at it in my mind.
I think like Pandemania wants Bezel at it.
Yep.
I can see why you think so. Stuff like this. Oh yeah, Gawain did kill right hand side. He also did a lot of very rash things. He could be the ad. Oh yeah, it seems like you want to add Gawain. Stuff like this.
Yeah.
But
Oh no.
like I would add Killer over Gawain here. He's, his path is like not that bad.
I don't know. He's not said that much. It's kind of
You know, like
fairly
the
filler.
way
But I mean,
the stuff he's saying are like, your pick on 4.1 made no sense. Like this is just a little bit trash. And I
uh,
like remember my 4.3 impression. I was like, oh, I would
yeah,
probably read because I think Killer's Merlin, and he's probably a VT
yeah. I don't
if he's
know.
res, if he's res.
Yeah, there's just no hope if it's killer ad. And I don't know why Percival rejects on 3.1 again when it's obviously perfectly viable if it's clean. I don't know. I can't really ever get on board with killer as the ad. Like too many people misplayed for that to be the case with coaches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree, but they are not adding Bezo. So like
Yeah,
something probably has went wrong. If said okay, that's a paragraph I won't read.
I'll be honest. In these situations when it's sort of like desperation for trying to get on, I never read Gawain Res in these scenarios. I am never fond of his chat in these scenarios. But yeah. Fahrenheit's still talking about most PCI. Like, if most PCI, they really like, what was wrong from doing this like 10 minutes ago? What is this needless merry-go-round?
Wait, who is he asking this question? That was the question.
Ragdoll?
Do you like that Mosby? Yeah, and Pandemania, like if I'm Pandemania VT right now, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, if I'm playing the mini VT, I would just wait to get told that Gawain is the ad, and just in the meantime, just keep saying I want Mosby. Like you're already very, VT if
Yeah.
Gawain is the ad, so like just keep pushing what you want and
Are we
let
adding in
someone say
Merlin's?
otherwise.
Like, look at this. Are we adding in Merlin's? Yeah, if Bezo is Merlin question mark, then yeah, you're adding in Merlin's.
Yeah,
Well, why is this so difficult?
I really don't know. Ragdoll's not saying anything.
Is this a VT? Like but like, probably not. Like, Ragdoll with this stall looks PR to me. Because the VT here is to like say, oh, Pandemania spied Gawain, and Killer did 3.1, so the only
Yeah,
ad is Bezu. Right? You literally say something like this. Yeah? And then you have
I
fucking Merlin tell you, yeah, sure.
yeah, that was
And
a
you
great
get.
individual thought that you had by yourself there. Um, but I think that makes sense if it's accompanied with that kind of chat where you are saying that sort of stuff. But Ragdoll has been fairly quiet. But now she said, I'm not sure to be honest. Oh, asking Panna for her preference. I think Panna's been pretty clear about her
Well,
preference.
yeah, it's like Bezo is not rest. Like, this is what they told me this whole M5. So,
Yeah.
is it 3.1? And Ragdoll is Merlin. And
Ragdoll said, "Killer, you're not the ad," or something a minute or two ago.
oh, Killer, you're not my ad.
Yeah.
Haha.
So Ragdoll's not dead Merlin on 3.1.
I think Panda claimed that must be ad. Yes, she did.
Yes. Marissa Fahrenheit is saying the things that were clear from M4 10 minutes ago, but people are forgetting.
Bro, I'm so confused. Something is wrong.
There is the chance that, they're just doing the classic Merlin stall and hammer for so long that people forget your previous Merlin candidacy.
Well, I hope
Uh,
not.
I also hope not, but it is a viable strategy. Just stall for so long that you look so indecisive that you can never be Merlin.
I'm okay. Okay. I'm
I'm
literally
leaning more
leaning.
towards Ted. What took so long, man? What took so long?
Oh man. Oh yeah, you cannot
Okay,
only.
we're adding Mosby.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
So, Pandemania is still PR then.
But they made Pandemania and Merlin. Okay, and this is clean. Why did they make her on Merlin?
How long ago was M4? M4 was 11 minutes ago, and
Crazy.
Crit started 28 minutes ago.
Crazy.
Yep. Well, yeah, so we're PRing Pandemania, so I guess it's time to look into who she's Percy to and who are her Percivals.
Well, so
I,
it was really adding in Merlin's.
it
Bezo
does
and
seem very
Gawain.
possible. Yeah, you had the right assassin and Maul combo.
Well, I was also very sheep by killer, so I went from very correct to like fully fucking throwing the game real quick.
Yeah. Well, good thing you weren't playing.
Like, imagine me playing this game. I would be 4.1. Okay, it's left hand side, Mr. Fahrenheit. And then
Yeah.
I'm thinking 4.43, and I'm like, oh, fuck, killer threat. I'd be, that would tilt me a lot, and my team as well. And they would make sure to flame me well enough so I get tilted even more.
Yep. So yeah,
Mm,
Panda Percy. So 1.3 could be 2v2s as Percy to Bezo.
could be
Or
River.
Percy to Mr. Fahrenheit. Both work. Um, Less likely to be Percy to the others, I think. I don't see the
Hmm.
logic for off picking Merlin with yeah. Yeah, I don't see really Percy to kill or Ragdoll doing 1.3 very often, right?
Percy to Killer and Ragdoll?
Killer or Ragdoll and Gawain,
Or
obviously.
Ragdoll.
That would also again be why would you reject 3.1? So I don't.
But
It,
Killer's a spy.
sorry, yes, that's a fair point.
Okay.
um, yeah, Percy to Ragdoll is, I guess, is why
And
I'm
Gavain.
less sure of why
Uh,
you would do that.
Percy to Ragdoll.
Percy to Ragdoll again, I'm not sure about 3.1 reject. What do you think of Mr. Fahrenheit's reject on it though?
On 3.1?
Yeah, like again, I just thought it made such sense, but again, three people rejecting it.
Hmm.
One's a spy, but
Well, you see 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. 1.1, fuck, whatever. But like 1.2, 1.3.
mm.
And like 1.2 is Racing Bezo. So,
I mean, it's saying Panda and Bezo are the same team in my mind, but again, it's that interpretation of picks thing.
alright.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfectly viable
2.4.
pick.
2.4 is very, very strong.
Yeah,
Because even Panda, like, she did 1.3, and then she did 2.4, which is just spying away.
yeah,
And then she very quickly spied him in M4.
yeah. Could just be a Merlin.
Yeah, but the thing with Pandemania Merlin is like, this is a full-on suicide. Like, read her M4 chat.
Yeah. I mean, there is a chance that she was talking to her coach, and her coach said something along the lines of, we need to res this person at some point, or was in the process of saying that, and then they just say the info immediately, kind of thing. Or it can also be that she's Merlin and it's double spy hammer, so needs to give info out pretty early because otherwise the game's going to go pretty badly.
But like, did she have to? Like, you have Basil climbing correct information.
Yeah,
Ragdoll is pretty much conf-res. You have a good conf, that is
yeah,
Basil and Gavain. So,
yeah,
and also she spied Gawain,
yeah.
and
And
like, no one cared. They
let's see
literally
the
forgot that in M5.
yeah,
Because it was literally Panda who said, after such a long silence, why did they spy Gawain? Literally making it possible for Gawain to be added.
yeah. It can still be a necessary on Merlin after how Merlin she was in M4. Um,
Yeah, this would be the only on Merlin.
so M4 flow, Mosby res Ragdoll and spied Gawain after 7 minutes. Um,
But the thing is, like, no one cared about this on Merlin. Like, Pandemania said stuff like, oh, I res him because of this and that. Like, no one really wanted to add Gawain.
yeah. I mean, it can just be, Mosby and Panda, the two PRs, either way round, and the VTs aren't really sure. Panda sounded like a PR and was, calling for apps and talking about
There's also a
1.3
chance of Basil being PR and Mr. Fahrenheit being PR.
with Panda just playing an amazing game with spying Gawain after
I mean,
M4.
like, if Pandemania is Merlin, then, like, she did 1.3, a good M1, 2.4, a clean M2,
Yeah.
while accusing. Rejected 3.1, sure, up 3.2, and then rest the whole team. And
Yeah.
spied Gawain. And then literally there was such a long stall on 5.5 that she said, okay, I spied Gawain because of this. And Mr. Fahrenheit, I remember his reply. Let me find it. His Pandemania. Fuck. I spied. What? Okay, so she says the reason I spied Gawain is because I think he's picked versus Mosby in M1. And Mr. Fahrenheit says, yeah, it seems that Panda has a preference. So,
Yeah.
which like this reply isn't obvious to me.
I feel like it's filler to me. It's just like acknowledging Panda's preference,
Like,
pretending to like not immediately be like, oh, okay, well then Bezo as the ad, and just make it seem like she doesn't have to PR and that they're following her, and just give it a bit of time.
mm,
Um,
it just
to me at least.
well, my interpretation of this is like saying, oh, so I spied him because of this, saying I could be wrong.
Yeah,
This is how I read this chat.
I
And
agree with that from Panda, but it's also I think Mr. Fahrenheit's reply was more VT, I guess,
well,
or at least not
hmm.
Percival. But
So this, yeah, it seems that Panda has a preference, is kind of shutting off the possibility of Gavain being dead.
yeah,
While this chat from Panda says that, yeah, I spied Gawain. Why are you not doing anything with it? Maybe I was wrong.
yeah.
Okay, so what do they think? Oh, they have 10 minutes, so we don't know. They will
We
come
have
back
2 minutes
with 2
until
minutes.
they reveal. I do think you have to on this shot PR Panda, um, and Ragdoll and Mr. Fahrenheit really just didn't do
Hmm.
anything close to enough to be like who she's Percy to in my mind. Mosby did a lot of the work in M4, as did Panda, to
Yeah.
call it as a potential spy hammer.
I think it's
So
Panda to Basil. Fuck it. Like,
yeah,
Panda to Basil. We won.
we just have the question of Panda to Bezo. How does she know Gawain is a spy, and is that just a chat read from M3? Which yeah, very possible. Um,
I like
Gawain was
that
saying stuff.
combo. Yeah, go on.
Gawain was saying stuff about how someone had messed up that game. So I'm just wondering, I guess, if there's like a reason on like Gawain's team to Panna's POV as Percy, why that wouldn't actually necessarily be true on his team. Like, what is his team? It's
Hmm.
right hand side or something. And on that one, he's the one who fucked up. No, it's probably not it. What were you saying?
So, I want to say that Pandemania to Basil is actually a good, valid combo. Because Merlin and Merlin's 1.1 is wrong. And Percival is claiming very correct info because of Goodreads.
Yep. And also, Mosby, yeah, spied Gawain, where's Ragdoll, pick rejected 4.1 is basically claiming a full team. So Panda
Yeah,
knows
man.
that, she has to consider Merlin's team pretty quickly, if so.
So I said that this Panda to Basil is a valid combo because Basil to Panda, on the other hand, has Panda just suiciding without unmerlining ever at all. Only when they are kind of forced to at 5.5.
Yeah,
And Basil, hmm, well, him being Percival to Gawain in Pandemania, he spies Gawain for picking a very logical 2.5.
yeah,
It could be right hand side and Basil to him. Why not?
yeah, yeah,
Especially because 3.1 solo upper doesn't look like Confres. It could very well be Panda and Ragdoll. Especially because 2.4, like I told you when she was picked, like 2.4 is kind of forcing Ragdoll, possible co-spy on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're on the same kind of lines, shooting in Panda and Bezo. They don't see how Panda to Bezo spies Gawain, which again I think is probably just that M3 chat, if anything. I think that's what I think we probably both prefer Panda to Bez at the moment, but it does feel like a shot between those two.
So the point about Gawain, yeah, his shot wasn't the best. And also Basil, it's like not even Gawain doing wrong things. It's Basil doing very correct things as well. So
Yeah,
combination of those two. Because this chat in itself, okay, it's not markable. I agree. And another is that Basil did correct things. You did wrong things,
yep,
so because Basil spied Gawain rest fractal.
yep,
That's it.
yep. And if Bezo is Percy to Panda, let's see. I'm trying to think if 4.1 like just like is 4.1 pick reject always okay? Like can it not be anti Mr. Fahrenheit Gawain to his POV?
Hmm.
I don't see any reason why not.
Hmm. Hmm. That's a very valid point. How is Bezo to Panda killing left hand side and killer? Let's see him for chat.
Well, the reason could be this sort of start of M4 chat where Mr. Fahrenheit is pressuring Gawain on his chat saying that there's something wrong and not thinking that that happens as two spies. But that's a softer read I think than
Hmm.
Gawain's M3 chat to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he doesn't kill 4.1 because like pick raging 4.1 here doesn't necessarily mean like a real pick rage. Like
Yeah,
this isn't clean. Maybe
yeah,
because does he's actually racing Ragdoll only he doesn't spy killer, I think. Or he doesn't rest Mr. Fahrenheit until let's see. No, he
well, he
said
kind of starts it out at 25 past. He says 1.1 might be wrong.
yeah, exactly. He says 1.1 could be wrong.
Ragdoll raised Mr. F for him, and he goes along with it. Again, Post Panda doesn't necessarily have to be sure of.
Oh yeah, so we are just right now thinking about Bazo to Panda, right?
Yeah, either way round.
Yeah, and I think it's
Bezo to Panda
Panda.
did. Bezo to Panda did a good job of basically assassinating Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Panda to Bezo did a good job of morging Gawain, basically.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't think it works as well because Bazo's POV doing all of this, like knows that Pandemania is suiciding all game.
Yeah,
Maybe not all game, but 2.4, like holy fuck. Like Pandemania
yeah,
shouldn't be able to accuse this as as, as Merlin. Why? Why would she do that?
yeah. So we're shooting Bezo, I think, and we're going to see, and the spies might be leaning towards Panda.
Really? Okay, let me see. I was reading M4 chat, so
I mean, they're wondering why Gawain got no chance if Panda's Percy. Basically, they say they're shooting in Panda, but Bezo as well.
why did I don't necessarily think 2.4 is hard morgan Gawain. It's just Bezo is the most rest looking player. Like if you're doing an accuse, you will pick Bezo.
Yeah,
So maybe you can pick Gawain and Bezo on 2.4 to be
yeah,
like less obvious. But still this accuse I don't think marks Bezo because it says that your team is probably this. I think your
yeah,
team is this. So you better pick one Merlin's team than two Merlins just because.
yeah. We're
Hmm.
talking about Mr. F to Bezo as well, which Panda VT is possible again if it's the same chat read of Gawain being a spy, just from that
Mm-hmm.
mission 3 chat. Um, and that get combo does again work. 3.1 does have its two rejects, which does make Benzo look pretty Merlin.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd get more chances, Merlin. Mm. I don't think Gawain did anything to be really rushed this game.
Yeah, there's also a little bit of which Merlin would be one to app 3.2, knowing it's double spy hammer.
Mm. But the problem here is that there are coaches.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard. Because players, I feel like Pandemania as Merlin, if she were alone, she would reject.
yeah.
But with her coach, like, if it's a good player, they will be like, we can handle it.
Yeah, and again, if you just don't like the M3 chat from Gawain and you're like, well, I'll just app this anti-Gawain team and where's
Hmm.
the person off it or something eventually.
Okay, they want to shoot Pandemania. I think it's a weak shot. I
I
hope I
mean,
will not be wrong all the time. Come on.
it it's shooting a confirmed PR, um, so it can't be that bad. And we've seen worse shots this tournament, um, but yeah, I think I would shoot Bezo, but I think both are valid shots.
Okay, are you guys shooting? They are about to pull the trigger. And,
Blue text? Nope, they got it.
bro, bro,
It was an open Merlin.
it was the other way around. Come
Okay,
on.
just edit all that out. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you Pandemania's Merlin. I had a
Yeah.
confirmed Merlin by Ilri and Freeze. Alright. Well, Merlin this game was just suiciding. And
Indeed.
it would pay off if I was the assassin.
Me too as well. But fortunately, Gawain on my team carries instead of
He
me.
carries. Killer is killing correctly this time. Alright. Thank you guys for watching and thank you for being here with me.
Catch you later.
See you guys next video.